In this video, we're going to dimension our object. So let's get into the Annotate tab and our ASME style, and let's start applying dimensions. Oh, and I am in the wrong layer. I can see that already. So let's switch to the dimension layer and just select these two dimensions that I already created and place them on the dimension layer. So that's easy enough. And I am dimensioning the diameter of the cylinder in the rectangular view so it doesn't get confused with a hole. Alright, so the next dimension that we're going to put on is the chamfer dimension. So make sure that you have a ASME leader style that was created in the exercise. If you don't, let's go in and take a look. So create ASME style, make sure it's annotative. The only thing really to change, I think everything's good. Just make sure that it's annotative. But what did I change? Oh yeah, here, right attachment, middle of top line. So that's really the only thing to change. All right, so we will do a leader to mid and take it off to the right. Make sure the text is 1/8 of an inch high and it's annotative. And then 0.12 space capital X space 0.12 and close the editor. There we go. All right, so all the dimensions are in. There's only a few things that we need to edit, and that is this dimension. So dd edit. So make sure cursor's in the front, put a diameter. And then we need to put this 1 inch inside. So dim tick on, and then we'll update that one. And then take the dim tick off. All right, so now we're ready to tolerance. So we're going to go back into our dimension style. So click on that. And we don't want to create a new style. We just want to override this style for just a bit. So we're going to override it. And we're going to go into the tolerancing tab. And the method we're going to use is limits. The precision is going to be 3 decimal places. And the upper value of the dimension that we're going to work on the hole. So that's the 1 inch diameter. And it's an LC6 fit. And if you look up in the tables, you'll see that we're adding 0.002 and subtracting 0 from it. So the upper value is 0.002, lower value is 0. And then vertical position will be middle, and we'll go OK, and we'll close this, and we will update. So update, and we're just going to update this dimension. And there we go. And we have a limit form of our whole dimension. And we didn't change the style, our ASME style, we just overrode it. All right, so let's do the next one. Let's do the diameter of the shaft. All right, so we'll go back into this dimension style and see it creates a override. So we can go back to this and set that current. Right now we're in the override. So we're going to override again. And here we're going to do limits again, but the shaft has 4 decimal places. And it's an RC3 fit. So if you look that up, what we're doing is we are subtracting 0.001 and 0.0016. All right, so the upper value is minus 0.001. And the lower value is just 0.0016. Now we're subtracting both, right? But the lower value already thinks it's subtracting, so you don't need a negative there. And you'll see that when we apply it. So we'll go OK, close, update. See, it subtracted both. So don't put a double negative in the lower value. It already knows that it needs to subtract that. So if you need to add on the lower value, then you'll put a negative, right, to get rid of the negative that's already there. I know, it's a little confusing. All right, so let's do one that's not the limit type. Let's do this. And let's say that we're adding and subtracting 0.001. All right, so we'll go back in here and we'll override again. And instead of the limit, we're going to do the symmetrical. And we're going to add and subtract 0.001. All right, so we'll go OK, close, and update. Oh, I needed to change the units or the decimal places. So let me go back into there. Override. Precision needs to be 3. OK, close, update. There we go. So symmetrical is if you're adding and subtracting the same amount, you can use symmetrical, plus and minus. All right, so we're going to update this guy as well because it's the same. All right, now what if the adding, subtracting is not the same? We can still do this plus minus. So let's do this 2 here, and we're going to add 0.005 and subtract 0.001. All right, so we'll do the override. So this would be deviation. So we're going to add 0.005 and subtract 0.001. And this time we need 4 decimal places. And we'll go OK, close, update. And there we go. So we have the limit form, we have the deviation form, and we have the symmetrical form. All right, so that's a little bit on tolerancing. And just to kind of close it out, if you're done tolerancing, then you just click back on ASME, set current, yes, and close. So now every dimension that you make from here on out will not have a tolerance to it. So that's the power of using the override.